golden. Welcome in, guys, to the Paladin's Keep. Let's pick this little dude just a bit. Let's turn you a bit to the left. Is it level? Is it not level? Who knows? Who knows anymore? Who knows anymore? Let's actually move you a bit off kilter. Because, oh no. Actually, let's not do it like that. Oh god! What is happening? Oh no! That did exactly what I just started out as. And I've made 0 progress. Oh well. That will work. Welcome to the Paladin's Keep, everyone. Hope you guys are having a great time. We are continuing with Final Fantasy 16. And we are heading back to Eastpool after our trek through the Apata tree, where we have combated our inner demons. I know it's got itchy all of a sudden.
Torgal, what is it?
Nothing good, I'll wager. Come on.
See how they have that tense undertone with the music? Oh, I love the way that they made this game. It's beautiful. Let's do it. And death. Oh boy. The Empire is here, and it is time to kill them.
What happened here?
Imperial Legionnaires to
Imperials.
die.
You'll pay for this.
Ah! We've got a live one.
What are you doing here? Remember our orders? No survivors.
If I can grab something. Oh boy, let me go get this fixed. Alright, fully resolved. Alright.
Thought you could escape us, did you, Brandon?
We're gonna get the astrologer.
You were born a slave, and you'll die one.
Kill all the ducal dogs! Ducal dogs? Innocent people!
Nice try.
Put them all to the sword! There or no!
Okay. Oh, no, no, I want the thing. Crap. We get on our way out. No problem.
All must burn! The bearers and those who sheltered them. By Empress Annabella's command!
My mother ordered this. Why?
Right.
I know. This time.
There we go. We finally got the dodging figured out.
This time.
Ah. Well, no. Gotcha. You're right. Bada bing, bada boom. Alright. That was fun.
I'm sorry, Lady Hannah. You deserved so much better. All of these people did. Better than my mother.
We're too late. Gav. Clive. Acting on the orders of the Duchess, eh? We knew Eastport was harbouring bearers. Thought they were safe enough hidden up here, but someone must have let slip. If they'd have only come to us sooner, none of this would have had to happen. Fuck!
My mother always did despise bearers. The way Father embraced them when the other nations spat on them as slaves. The way an accident of birth gave them a power that others lacked.
But why kill everyone? They meant no harm. They just wanted to be free.
This world judges that a crime punishable by death. Which is why we're going to change it. Gav, we want to help.
Thought you'd got your own stuff to be getting on with.
We do. But it can wait.
In that case, we should head back and tell Sid you've had a change of heart. He was always on it yet to join us.
All right.
Time to
We
join
best be quick. Last
the
I
hideout.
heard he was planning another excursion.
Oh, we love
What about
that.
the villagers?
Oi! Can I leave yous lot to take care of things here?
Of course. We'll make sure they get a proper burial. Thank you. All of you.
When you're ready, then.
Time to go bring the fight to the Empire. Let's do it. The Imperial army must die. And we'll be the one to kill them. So it'll work out great.
Now, rats, lead me to your nest. Lord Kupka has a message for your leader. If only he knew where to send it.
Oh yeah, it's the message of I want you dead. Let's put a Rosarian red during this stream.
To Sid Solar, then. We have a lot to discuss.
I heard Otto barking at his lot earlier.
Don't mind me. Just taking a quick...
This place is getting more crowded by the day.
I tell myself the bustle's a blessing. There'll be time enough for quiet contemplation when I'm dead. So, did you find the answers you were looking for?
I still don't know what to make of this gift, curse, or whatever it is I've been given. But there is one thing I can say for certain. I am a dominant, Ifrit. And there is nothing I can do to change that. It is a burden I must bear until my dying day.
Spoken true. Forgiveness, and in turn salvation, can only begin with acceptance. It's a path we all must walk, no matter how colourful our histories.
Sid, you once told me that you wanted to build a place where people could die on their own terms.
I did.
I've been thinking about that. Why not a place where people can live on their own terms? For 13 years, killing was all I knew. So obsessed with death that I never stopped to consider the lives of those around me. Lives that I see now were scarcely worth living. Be they bearers or beggars, most marched blindly to their end, never realizing that they too deserve a choice. And I dare not turn a blind eye to their suffering any longer.
So, atonement then, is it?
That was the answer we found.
The only one we need.
I'll be expecting you both to pull your weight.
And we will.
Well then, with a sprinkle of fire and ice, this plan of mine might just work.
What trouble are you looking to get yourself into now?
The best kind. We're going to sneak into the Imperial capital and pay a visit to Mother.
Council of Elders.
The last of our farmholds in the eastern provinces has succumbed to the blight.
Without their yield, we will be hard-pressed to fill the capital's granaries before winter.
If there is a capital by then, the black creeps closer as we speak.
And yet you do naught but bawl and bluster.
The Emperor. Oh my god. It's the Emperor.
Radiance.
Oh. Seeing how it's the Emperor.
If it is fertile land
Nice.
the Empire requires, we need but look south.
If you mean the crystalline Dominion's holdings, we are bound by mutual accord. Theirs is a neutral state whose borders we have sworn to respect.
Gentlemen, did we swear to see our people starve?
Well, I really do think.
The gates of Oriflamme buckle at the flood of those come seeking refuge from the Blight. If there is not grain enough to feed those within our walls, how, pray tell, will we feed those without?
Facts. They won't.
But instead of setting your minds to riddles such as these, you lock horns with an enemy from across the sea, sending our soldiers to the slaughter in their thousands. The Empire bleeds, and you sit here prattling like crones in a tea house. And you fancy yourselves leaders of men.
Oh, we just humbled them quick.
Sanbreque is naught without her citizens. We are but their servants. If their land is being wrested away, it is our duty to claim new lands for them.
Your Radiance! You cannot mean a war of conquest.
That is exactly what I mean. It is time we expanded our dominion. This is the will of great Grieger.
There will be uproar. Then we must find a way to distract the citizenry.
But how much will that cost? And what of our legions? Shall we raise the furs?
Well, someone will have to contend with the Dalmeks.
I will not keep you. You all have much to do. Where is my son?
The Lord Prince is currently garrisoned at the Strait of Orther. If it please you, I can send word requesting his immediate return to the Holy Capital.
That won't be necessary. Tell him instead to see to his wounds. Bahamut's strength will be needed again soon.
As you command.
I must have misheard. You mean to tell me that the Mother Crystals are the reason the world is dying? Are you mad?
I have been called that on occasion, but no, not today.
We've all seen it firsthand. Empty wastes where once were green meadows. Land drained so dry of its ether, not even the rats remained. But where was it all going? I spent years searching for an answer, until I saw it standing right in front of me. There, in the self-same crystals, we look to for their so-called blessing. Alright, listen. Take this crystal. How does it allow us to conjure magics?
It's a lot of lore dumping,
Answer,
which is
by
fun.
drawing ambient ether from the air. And where do these crystals come from?
The Mother Crystals. They're chipped away. They're pieces of it.
They're mine from the Mother Crystals.
They're one and the same. Although admittedly this here fits more easily in the pocket.
But bearers don't need it.
But the Mother Crystals are massive. Some as large as mountains.
So you see the problem? Imagine just how much ether can be drawn by something that size. As to where it's all going, mind, well, I can't know everything, can I?
We are taught that the mother crystals are divine. Their ether a gift from the heavens. For centuries, nations have fought and fallen for want of that gift. If what you say is true, how did no one else see it?
Who says they didn't? Maybe the truth was inconvenient.
Inconvenient to whom, exactly?
The higher-ups, the gods themselves.
So now you want to do something about the crystals? And what? We're not helping bearers and dominants anymore.
I didn't say that. I made a promise and I intend to keep it. But if we continue down this path, there's only one fate that awaits the realm. And we can't very well set our people free if they're all lying dead in a blighted ditch.
Correct.
Not if we want to create a place where they can live on their own terms anyway.
Also correct.
Sort of defeats the purpose. So, if we have to bring the old world crashing down in order to build us a new one, what say you? Are you with me?
I suppose it's about time I repaid your faith.
You could have just said aye. But it's nice to have you aboard all the same.
What have I got myself into? I'm going to need more than a few potions for this.
Alright. Let's get some side quests started.
Don't mind me. Just taking it.
Wanted to send a message.
Glenn the Courier.
You've lost a letter. Nothing too important, I hope.
Not just a letter. I lost everything. There's a hole in my damn pack, and fool that I am, I didn't bloody notice.
It can't be that bad, surely.
How could it be any worse? I'm a courier. I carry things. If I can't do my job right, then what am I good for?
Nothing.
Nothing, that's what. I buggered it
Facts.
right up. That means no herbs for the infirmary, and no fresh meat for our cooking pots. Worst of all, that letter I lost, it was for Sid. A letter he's been waiting on for days.
Maybe if you retrace your steps.
I'd scour Storm from coast to coast if I could, but there are curse breakers in the field, counting on my arrival. No, I'll just have to own up to Otto and Sid. They're gonna skin me alive.
Not if we have anything to do about it. He'll be in trouble if I don't.
Fine.
So we gotta help
Tell
him.
me where to look.
Are you serious? Thank you.
It sounds like the hideaway could use those supplies. So, where should I start?
Gotan's bales, perhaps? I took a tumble in the bushes when I was passing through. There's a chance my pack might have caught on something. If you can find everything I dropped, you'll be doing us all a favor. And if you can find Sid's letter, you'll be saving my life.
If it's there, I'll find it.
Wonderful. Now, I have to run if I'm to make my next delivery in time. I trust you can find your way to Gotan's bales. Oh, and hurry, will you? Sid doesn't like to be kept waiting.
I'm sure he doesn't.
Alright, we're gonna prioritize this quest and go pick up the other side quest, and then get
Unless
started
it won't
on
last
these.
very long out in the elements. I should make for Sunbreak as soon as I can.
I heard Otto barking at his life earlier.
He's never listened.
Albus the Postmaster? Is that his name?
Where are you, Randall?
I wasn't paying full
Is everything
attention
all
to
right?
his specific name.
Forgive me, young man. I was in a world of my own. I'm worried about my friend, you see. He left some time ago and hasn't returned. You know what it's like out there for a bearer on his own.
Why leave the safety of the hideaway?
For coin. Sad though it is. Our need outweighs the risk. The hideaway can't survive on goodwill alone. And though Karen does what she can, her coffers aren't bottomless. Wait.
True.
You were a soldier, were you not? In the Imperial Army?
I was.
Then might I ask a favour of you? I'm too old to be traipsing hither and yon. Will you go and find him for me?
I'll do what I can.
I'll do what I can.
Oh, thank you.
What can you tell me about your friend?
His name is Randall, and I suspect you'll find him in Lostwing. He's been working for Quinton, the tavern keeper. He'll know something, I'm sure.
I'll speak to him.
Safe travels, my friend. And thank you again.
Prioritize that quest as well. And we will go ahead and get these quests. Oh, actually, we're gonna do these things real quick.
Good day.
Use 1,000 tomes. Tell Harpocrates of our adventures. He updates the tomes. We're now an extant encyclopedic.
A rather fascinating excerpt I've been meaning to show you.
Okay, we have a
If you
few
have a
new
question
entries.
for
We're going to
me,
kind of look through
I
these.
should
So
be
we
happy
have
to
Clive
answer.
Ronsfield's newest entry of kind of these areas after Freet's awakening. An Imperial Bearer turned deserter who joined forces with Sid to hunt down the second Dominated Fire. We fought... Oh, we've already done a lot of that. So an Imperial Bearer turned deserter. We returned to our homeland of Rosario to learn the truth of the events that shaped their histories. Their path takes them through the village of Eastpool, where they meet with Lady Hannah Murdoch, wife of the late Lord Commander. She presents Clive with a set of clothes that once belonged to his father. And in this one, he learned that he is indeed the dominant Ifrit, the one who took his brother's life, anxious to atone for his crimes, and filled with righteous anger after witnessing the massacre at Eastpool. He pledges himself to Sid's cause to free all of Valisthea from its bonds, not only those between bearer and master, but those between man and mother crystal. After Clive and Sid spirited her away from the battlefield, where she was being forced to fight for the Iron Blood, Jill was placed in the care of the Hideaway's talented physiker, Tarja, who nursed her back to health. We have Stolfus, leader of the Hideaway and dominant of Rama, warden of Thunder, in his quest to create, or Ramu, in order to create a world where bearers and dominants can die in their own turn. I think it's Ramu, I could have just mispronounced that. He unearthed the shocking truth that the Mother Crystals were the cause of the all-consuming blight. Benedicta, we've killed her. Hugo Kupka, his greatest treasure, however, was always Benedicta Harmon, so when a servant of Waloed informed him that his love had been slain by Sid, his fury toward the outlaw and his allies knew no bounds. Dion Lesage, or Lesage, firstborn son and loyal subject of Emperor Sylvester, ruler of the Holy Empire of Sunbreak, as well as leader of the Empire's most elite fighting force, the Dragoons. Dion is also the dominant of Bahamut, Warden of Light, and has often been called upon to summon his icon in defense of his countrymen. Most recently in the year of the Realm 873, when Odin took to the field against him at the Battle of Belonis Tor. Big sneeze. Barnabas Tharm, King Waloed, a dominant of Odin, the Warden of Darkness, at the Battle of Belonis Tor. He not only took personal command of the royal army, but rode into the fray himself. Gav. Mr. Kenneth, Martha, Bernard, Rodney Murdoch, who's super dead, Annabella Lesage, we'll say Lesage for right now, Hannah Murdoch, Sylvester the Emperor, the High Cardinal, so one of the first and foremost of the 5 cardinals who make up the Council of Elders, second only to the Holy Emperor and the Imperial Government. It is his role to lead the council in governing Sanbreak in the Emperor's stead, and providing the latter does not overrule his decisions, his authority is absolute. We have Attendant to the Crown Prince, second in command. His sword remains ever at the ready should anyone be foolish enough to make an attempt on the life of his liege lord. And then the Hooded Man. So we lay the land, the Imperial Province of Rosaria, the land comprising the western reaches of the Continent of Storm, formerly known as the Grand Duchy of Rosaria, or Rosaria. It became an imperial province after its annexation by the Holy Empire of Sanbreak in the year 861. Annabella Lesage, once Duchess of Rosaria and now Empress of Sanbreak, was granted stewardship of her former home and the title of Vicereine, a role she embraced with sadistic relish, enacting a regime of crippling taxation and constant surveillance, along with the renewed persecution of the bearer population, because she does not like them. Rosalith, situated at the heart of the ducal capital of Rosalith, Rosalith. It was from this towering ivory fortress that the Archduke and his family once ruled their proud nation. A well-armed Sombrequois garrison has been stationed here since 860, when the duchy was annexed by the Empire following the tragedy at Phoenix Gate and the subsequent invasion by the Iron Crusade. The remains of the fortress destroyed in the year 860 on what came to be known as the Night of Flames, the castle's invasion by Sombrequois assassins, and the battle between the 2 icons of fire that rose in its wake. Ancient ruins lie beneath and are reached by means of an underground pathway. Prior to Rosaria becoming an imperial province, the gate was of great importance to the people of the duchy, being the site of the rite of ancestral communion. And then the Apothecary, place of worship located in the depths of Phoenix Gate, an ancient stronghold on the northwestern border of the former Duchy of Rosaria. A large mural dominates the sacred chamber where the rite of ancestral communion, a ceremony carried out by the duchy's dominant prior to marching into battle, was once performed. Ducal Loyalists. Martha's Rest, a little, Blademont Abbey. The abbey was built in order to propagate their Gregorian faith that the Duchy of Rosaria was made part of the Holy Empire. So it's part of their plans of kind of like converting the culture of their new annexed lands. The hamlet of Eastpool, it was once surrounded by fertile farmland, but the southward creep of the Blight eventually drove out most of the inhabitants in the aftermath of the attack at Phoenix Gate. The majority of the population, however, was wiped out in the culling of bearers ordered by Empress Annabella, and the village now lies in ruins. Purge of Eastpool was a brutal attack on the Rosarian village of Eastpool in the year 873. Annabella Lesage, Holy Empress of Sanbreak, Vicereine of Rosaria, ordered that all bearers being harbored by the villagers be slaughtered, along with the ducal loyalists who had given them shelter. In the ensuing massacre, Eastpool's population was effectively decimated, and ultimately the village was abandoned. The marshlands of the Three Reeds, the territorialization of Rosaria in the year 861, taking advantage of the discord arising from Rosaria's internal woes in the wake of the Night of Flames, the Ironblood launched an attack that inflicted devastating losses on an already crippled nation, robbing it of what little power remained. Later that same year, Sanbreak stepped in and forced the once proud duchy to submit to one final humiliation by becoming a vassal state of the Empire, just as Duchess Annabella and her imperial conspirators had planned. Holy Empire. Nice. Oriflamme, the capital. Whiteworm Castle, where the Drake's Head's their mother crystal. Council of Elders, we just watched that. The 5 cardinals saw that. The Vice Regency, so after the incorporation of Rosaria into the Empire, elected not to rule the new province directly, but making it a Vice Regency with Rosalith as its provincial capital. Battle of Belenus Tor, we saw that. It was a really cool, you'd probably have to go back and think like 2 episodes to see it. Having lost vital territory in to Sombrequois forces 8 years earlier in the Battle of the Twin Realms, the Waluders launched an assault on the eponymous peak, looking to regain a foothold in the Imperial lands on the opposite side of the Strait of Altha. Both sides fielded their icons, and in the ensuing showdown between Odin and Bahamut, the entire Sombrequois legion was lost, and the Waluders regained their outpost on Storm. So they were unable to push back the Waluders. The Waluders are still engaging in their conquest throughout. Which makes sense, because that would explain the loss of lands, which is why the Emperor is stating that a conquest needs to begin. We have the Eye of the Tempest, it's a storm. Belenus Tor, yep, there's Odin. The breadbasket is a region overlooking the Strait of Otha, in the Dominican Republic. Castle Dazbog, where Kuka lies, the Kingdom of Waloed. Sole surviving nation in Ash, Waloed has its capital at Stone here, home to the Mother Crystal of Drake's Spine. Its ruler, Barnabas Tharm, dominant of Odin and Warden of Darkness, recently dispatched units of intelligencers to storm with orders to scout ahead prior to a full-scale invasion. Having ceded territory to the Holy Empire of Sunbreak in the Battle of the Twin Realms in the year 865, the Waloeders launched an attack on Belenus Tor in 873, with the intent of regaining their lost foothold on the continent across the strait. The Royal Knights of Waloed. The Kingdom of Waloed's main battlefield forces, also known as the Kingsguard, nice. The Iron Crusade, the Boiling Crusade. So the Boiling Crusade was when they jumped into Rosaria. Crystalline Dominion, that's the Faith. Strait of Otha, the Gregorian Church. Mysteries of the Realm, we have the Mother Crystals. Sid posits that it is in fact the Mother Crystals and their ability to draw ether that's causing the Deadlands to advance. The Crystal's Curse. So the price that bearers and dominants pay for channeling ether through their bodies, the gradual petrification of their flesh, does not affect those who use a crystal to cast magics, beginning with a stiffness and ache in the extremities. As the curse progresses, limbs are rendered immobile, the pain unbearable. At last, the victims turn completely to stone, their body crumbles into dust. There is no known cure. Different types of dominance, bearers, more stuff on branded soldiers. The Continental Accord, so that's going to be some good stuff. So it's an international pact made at the dawn of the present era in which such matters as the treatment of bearers and the establishment of realm-wide currency were laid out, forming the basis of much of the Belistian society as it stands today, including the branding of bearers and their status as non-persons. It also put in place a universal calendar, marking a symbolic fresh start for mankind, albeit one which put magic users at a crippling disadvantage. Ancient mural, a wall painting founded in the depths of the apothecary under Phoenix Gate. Who created it and for what purpose is unknown, but the celestial being in the center suggests some connection to a long-lost religion. The founder. Fear and uncertainty reigned in those early years following the sins of the Dzemeckis. Not wanting to further incur the wrath of the heavens, the few who survived the fall took to wandering the lands, burning magic and staying to the shadows, and so they lived for decades. One man, however, grew tired of his life, if it could be called that, and after bidding his companions farewell, climbed a grassy knoll overlooking a forest of beech and alder. Here he gathered a pile of rubble, used it to build a humble shelter, in which he spent the night. The next morning, however, instead of abandoning his work, as was his people's wont, he gathered more rocks, adding to the structure until the shelter became a shack. This he continued for days and weeks until the shack became a home. At first, those few wanderers who had passed the knoll would shun him, cursing the man under their breaths for his hubris, but as his estate grew and one building became 2 and 2 3, the people began to slow their steps. It was not long before some took to joining him on that knoll, gathering stones, building new lives and new destinies. They did this without magics or machines, without boon or blessings. They relied on naught but their hands, their backs, their wills, and each other. And slowly house gave way to village, village to town, and town to nation. The man would one day die, as all men do, but those who remained continued his legacy, expanding upon it. And though his name was eventually forgotten, his spirit lives on to this day in the hearts of all Rosarians. Legend of the Founder, Moss the Chronicler. Echoes are the strange constructs that are within the fallen ruins. You have the Aegis, which are ethereal entities conjured by the Dominants. So that was like the Garuda Aegis that we fought with Benedicta. Ultima's Thrall, so it's like the Lich that we fought in the Apothecary. And the Bestiary, so we have the free fire-aspected icon that first emerged in the year of the realm 860. Clad in infernal flame, the fiendish creature flung itself against the Phoenix, overpowering the icon with a strength and ferocity never seen before. Its reappearance was ushered in a second shocking revelation that its dominant was none other than Clive Rosfield. We have the Warden of Light, whose power dwells within Dion Lesage, Prince of Sunbreak, and the Holy Empire. The Gregorian faithful hold dragons to be sacred creatures, Bahamut the most sacred among them. Because of this, as well as the protection it grants them, the icon is loved and revered by the imperial populace. The Warden of Darkness, Odin, who rides into battle atop a spectral steed, and whose black blade is said to be sharp enough to split the very seas in twain. Its latest dominant, King Barnabas of Waloed. Ramu, the Warden of Thunder, whose power most lately awakened within Sidolphus Telamon. The icon is known the realm over as a symbol of judgment, no doubt inspired by its sage mien and the scepter with which it summons its 11 bolts. Folklore has it that not only are dominants of Ramu blessed with the commanding of lightning, but they are also granted a deeper understanding of the true nature of the world. The Warden of Wind, Garuda, who Benedicta transformed into during her ill-fated flight from the Empire, it takes the form of a fearful harpy, summoning storms and tearing into the flesh of its prey with hawk-like talons. Its dominant is most often born among the descendants of the Motes of Wind, an ancient tribe that once dwelled in the land spanning the Strait of Otha, which is now the Crystalline Dominion. Minotaurs, megalocrabs, cragclaws, antelopes, bighorns, all the creatures, black widows, spiders, adamantoids, bombs, we have iron giants, the mess of it. And so, you know, good stuff. Good stuff.
Do you need any help,
No.
Miss Molly?
Not speaking to Karen yet.
Five, was it?
I see I'm busy here.
Well, we are going to use the cord. Hey, bake flame tongue.
Not bad.
Yep.
If I do say so myself. Anything else?
Okay, so do our quests. We're going to start first with the Orbel down, so we're going to go find these missing items and return that. Well, I mean, we're going to do both the quests and then come back to the hideaway and turn them in, but we're going to start here before we go to Lost Wing.
The courier said his pack might have split while he was passing through the bales. I better keep my eyes open.
Okay, so we can retrieve the sack. Heh.
Looks like I'm in the right area.
We're going to keep kind of walking through here because we should be able to find it. Yep, there it is. Retrieve the second sack. Now we have 2 sacks.
More of the lost supplies.
For a third sack, which is over here.
I doubt he could have fit much more in his pack. Still no sign of Sid's letter, though.
Speak with the yard hand over here. See what she's got to say.
A little overdressed to be picking grapes, aren't you? You hear from Master Quentin?
No.
I'm looking for a letter someone dropped nearby. I don't suppose you've seen it.
Can't say I have, sorry.
Well, if you do...
Wait, I did pass a dog with something in its mouth a little while back. Could have been a piece of paper. No idea if it was your letter, but you never know.
Which way did it go?
Towards Lost Wing? Seemed well looked after to me. Dare say someone there's been feeding it.
To the village, then. Thank you.
Sweet. So we go to Lost Wing, which, fun fact, we can just teleport there. Why bother waiting? And then we want to do the red letter day, so we're going to go over here to search for the missing letter, which I believe is with a dog.
It seems we have our culprit. Sorry, boy. Someone's waiting for this. He's waited long enough already. Hopefully this will keep our courier out of trouble.
A whole day on the line and they're still not dry.
Now we've practically completed that mission. We can go to Quentin and figure out what the needs of the many are.
But how did the grocer know his daughter had been stealing? What can I interest you in today?
Idols of the Empire of Orchestrion role. Nice.
Good day.
Ah, if it isn't Sid's young protege.
Alexa, turn the lights to
To what
10%.
do I owe the pleasure?
I'm looking for a bearer.
Oh, that darkened it. Alexa, turn the lights to
He's been
20%.
coming to you for work. He was expected back at the hideaway some time ago. A friend of his asked me to check on him.
Randall, you say? The porter?
Correct.
Yes, I know him. And I can't say I'm surprised if he has been delayed. I gave him enough to do. Though, thinking about it, he should probably have been back by now.
I'll go and look for him. Where was he headed?
He was to meet an associate of mine to the south of here, on Lorbert's Pass. I do hope nothing's happened to him. Be sure to let me know, Clive.
Alright, so now we go to Lorbert's Pass, which is outside. And in order to get there, we have to go this way. And we want to get up to Cutter's Gate, which is using the stair. Okay. Got it. I want to go up here.
Sun's setting fast.
Just realized we never grabbed that chest in Eastpool because, you know, we got kicked out. We'll grab it before we got kicked out because of the cutscene switching us over from Eastpool, you know, to going to the Empire and all that stuff. So we'll head to Eastpool when we're done with this and grab that chest. Big yawn, that was good. Hello, Randall. Or is this Randall, or is this not Randall?
The hanged man. Thank the gods. You're one of us. We were attacked. Beastmen on the road. Randall knew he didn't play the hero.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. I think Randall sacrificed himself to ensure that this guy could get away.
Where did this happen?
Further down the road. In the clearing. Please. You have to see that he's safe.
I'll do what I can. You go back to Lost Wing and tell Quentin what happened. Goblins. Why am I not surprised? That's it.
Stab in the stomach. Pull that blade out. Oh.
Not this time.
the room. It's gonna be charging in here any second now. Here he comes. Where is his body? Super dead.
Sorry, Randall. Looks like I was too late. He doesn't deserve to rot by the roadside. I'll speak to Quentin.
Come on if you want, buddy.
Sun's setting fast. They'll all be back from the vineyard soon.
I better go and give that stew a stir.
Ah, there you are. My man told me what happened. And? I can't help but notice you're alone. Damn it. I feared as much.
He's not far from the south gate. I trust you'll do right by him.
Of course. I'll send someone right away.
He's got his carrot toy. We got him a carrot toy.
I knew he was brave.
It's really thick rubber. So that he can't chew through it as easy.
And you've known him long?
A while. I liked the fact that he didn't shy away from dangerous work. And he liked
he's gotta be a little growly. I'll mute myself for a bit.
I'll tell Sid what happened here. I expect he'll be none too pleased to learn of Randall's fate. And I suppose you're none too happy either. For your trouble.
I heard Otto barking at his lot earlier.
Maybe I should just... Oh. There you are. I just got back to the hideaway and thankfully Otto hasn't seen me yet. I don't suppose you,
Found the things you dropped. I did.
I was so sure they'd be gone. And the letter?
Only a little worse for wear.
No more skulking about in the shadows for me then. And all thanks to you. Losing those supplies was one thing, but if Sid had found out about that letter...
Is it about Cursebreaker business?
If only. It's from his daughter. She's off studying in Canver, and her letters are all that keeps Sid sane while she's away.
He never mentioned a daughter.
Well, he's a busy man. And thanks to you, he won't be wasting his time smiting careless couriers with levin boats. So I'd say you did us both a service. Here, for your troubles. If there's anything you're wanting from Sid, today's the day. He'll be sweet as honey once he gets his hands on this.
So what god's-forsaken corner of the realm is Sid dragging you off to this time?
Oriflamme.
The holy capital. And what business would you lot have in... On second thoughts, I don't want to know. Speaking of Oriflamme, I hear the trading routes leading south have seen more than double the usual traffic. If you ask me, summat foul's brewing, and it ain't Tyre's borbile tea. Oh, just go and see Otto, will ya?
All right.
So you're really going through with it? Sid's been talking about bringing down a mother crystal since I've known him. But that's all it's ever been. Talk.
He's convinced it's the right thing to do. We'll be leaving for the capital shortly.
Well, you couldn't have picked a better moment. Seems the hiding the royalists gave him wasn't enough to dampen old Sylvester's spirits. His legions are on the march again. This time, due south.
Another war.
All as the great Grieger wills it. Bloodthirsty little miss, that one. But that's God's for you, innit? Still, might work to our advantage on this occasion. Wars breed chaos. On the front lines, and at home. With a fair wind behind them, a handful of like-minded ne'er-do-wells could melt into the back alleys of Oriflamme. No trouble. Is making it to the capital that's the problem.
The checkpoint.
That's right. Anyone travelling in or out of Oriflamme has to go through Northreach. Lucky for you, I might just know of a way.
This?
Well, no, not that. That gets you an audience with the Dane. And it's the Dane who'll see you safely through Northreach. I'll send a Stolas in the morning. Let her know you're coming. We go way back. And she's a true friend of the cause. I'm sure you'll get on like a house on fire.
That's good of you, but... Who is this dame, and where will I find her?
She's the proud proprietress of Northreach's foremost house of ill repute. The Vale. And she's quite a woman, if you know what I mean.
A woman? Right.
Don't go blinding her with your charm now, lad. I'll be expecting a full report when you get back.
Alright, we've unlocked the Alliant reports. which is a system that allows us to speak with, I think it's goat or gout. I would say goat, because if the name was spelled with a CH instead of the T, it'd be gauche. So I think it's goat. And it helps you look at quests that are available.
I suppose that's everything.
So the Lank-Locked Bearer.
Oh, you're the new lad, aren't you? Goat at your service.
See, right, goat.
Well, at the hideaway service, anyway. Otto's put me in charge of reading through the reports sent in by our allies and picking out any problems that might warrant the attention of the curse breakers. Or any other willing volunteers. And there's no shortage of problems, I can tell you. Well, maybe I don't have to. I'll warrant a strapping lad like you who's got people begging him for help wherever you go. Anyway, if you're ever interested in taking a look
Don't try to church it up, goat. Yeah, that's right. What's up, Atronach? How you doing? Thanks so much for stopping by tonight. I appreciate it.
Here and there.
Oh,
They
my
say
dog is
little
playing with a
acts
carrot.
of kindness are their own reward.
Mr. Goat over here.
But
Hey, man.
it ain't enough. These have got proper
Hey, man,
bounties
do
on
you?
them all.
We're gonna ask about Goat. We're gonna ask Goat about himself. Suppose you could say I'm his right-hand man. He's a hard master, but not nearly as hard as my old one was. When that man beat me bloody and threw me out in the streets to die, it was Otto who found me and took me in. The way I see it, I owe him, and so I help him look after the ledgers, as well as reading through all the reports coming in from our allies across the Twins. And if it sounds like someone out there needs our help, I make a note so I can point any willing volunteers in the right direction. So what'd you say? Are you willing? There's no sure way of turning Otto's frown a little less frowny. We'll view the Alliant reports now. We've done a few quests, but unfortunately this does unlock a few more. So we have 2 quests now back in Lost Wing and 1 in Martha's Rest. So we have some more side quests to do before we go speak with Gav. We'll get started on those. Currently working a night shift, so I'll be in and out. Gotcha, no problem. Well, I hope you have a great night shift. So, whatever that looks like for you, I hope it's not difficult. But yeah, I appreciate you and your time here, however long or short it may be. So, thank you so much for stopping in. So we're going to talk to this spry young lass right here, the in-hand.
I've seen your face before. You're a friend of Martha's. Help us, I beg you.
Such urgency.
Help you with what?
Bandits in the Golden Stables. They're waving their swords around. I think they're going to kill someone. When I saw what was happening, I slipped out the back. I should have stayed, but oh, please help them.
Of course we'll help them. It'd be fine. It's like, sorry, I can't right now. You'll have to take care of it yourself. That'd be terrible.
Thank you.
How many were there?
I was out of the door
Easy
too fast to
peasy,
count.
mostly sitting in my truck, but occasionally I get to
They
get
looked
out
a
and yell
nasty
at somebody.
bunch, though.
That's always
Be
fun.
careful in there.
That is always fun, being able to walk right out and be like, hey, no. And then you go walk back in and sit down. That's some good stuff. Go get your carrot. Where's your shoe? Go get your shoe. Get your shoe. Oh, and he thinks my hand is shoe.
Ha! Golden Stables my ass. All Martha's hiding back here is coppers.
Alright, time to deal with the Golden Stables.
Oh, that's a fine sword, friend.
The heck yeah, it is.
What say we relieve you of it?
You can certainly try.
Get it, lads. I want that blade.
Let's get this over with.
Simple. Alright.
I'll be keeping my blade, thank you.
You're welcome.
There he is, the hero of the Golden Stables.
People will think twice about pushing us around again.
I'm a hero. Woo!
We're lucky
I don't know if
you're
anyone told
nearby.
you, but I was proper tilted Your
wouldn't have dared set
but
foot
I
in
was
the place
proper
if I'd
tilted.
been
Your
there, of
storage
course.
room had no oh. I did not know.
You had someone watching the place.
And it's not my fault. It's not my storage room. It is
When they're not busy
the
keeping the peace, that is.
airship
I'll
storage
spread them as
room,
thin as they'll
and it
go.
didn't have no rum in
The
it.
Empire might be in
Like the
charge,
boxes were
but
exactly
that'll
as
mean
it
the
was written.
gatekeepers
I was
safe.
just like, I didn't
If it
think I
weren't
was
for
going
the
to need to
Bloodaxes
add
and
rum
me,
to this.
merchants won't come near
They
these
had
lands
dwarven
to
ale
fill
and
right
elven
out.
wine. I was like, what else are they going to need?
Then you do Rosaria a great service.
Just as you did today.
Here's what I'll say:
You're a useful man to have
the next
around.
ship that they go on, big ship, the next big ship that they go on, there will for sure be
And there'll be a
rum
mug of
on
something
board.
tasty
Doesn't
waiting
matter
for you
what
whenever you next
campaign
stop
it is.
by.
And if we ever do a
Right,
pirate
We've
campaign,
got work to do for to make this
rum
place
will
presentable.
have to be. It'll have to be.
You best be going.
I think
Before
that's
I arm
a
you
bigger
with a mop.
offense. To be like, yeah, we're gonna play Ghosts of Saltmarsh and play all the pirate-themed adventures, and then just like remove all the rum. Like, if you remove the rum, you gotta have grog in there. Like, it's gotta be something like grog, something other than just ale. What kind of sky cult pirates don't roll with rum? These guys, I guess. I don't. It's a fair point, though. Pirates need to roll with. I mean, I guess they're not really pirates though, because they're cultists. They're actually a small group of the Cult of the Dragon. They just don't really roll with the Cult of the Dragon anymore. So I guess you can't really call them pirates, but maybe you can. Citrus to prevent the scurvy. That's fair. But if they're true pirates, they don't care about the scurvy, so they don't work to prevent what they can.
Ah, you're Sid's man, if I'm not mistaken. Couldn't trouble you for some assistance, could I?
It depends. What do you need?
Some new bearers from Oriflamme just arrived, and it cost Master Quinton a pretty penny to convince their owner to part with them. Man must have been a bloody tyrant. Can't get a peep out of them, try as I might.
They're probably terrified of you.
You're probably right. They say it'd take a bearer like yourself to open them up. So, will you have a word with them?
No.
Help them settle in?
Yeah. We'll talk to the bears.
I can try.
That'll do me.
Pirates cared about scurvy, how they supposed to get laid in port when looking all sick. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That's a fair point. I'll concede that one.
They're sitting over there, taking a long overdue breather, looks like.
That's a reasonable point. Pirates do indeed care about their booty. I went there. That was a dad joke of the century right there. That was good. That was solid. That was a solid joke. I'll see myself out.
Rivals. Is there anything I can get you?
I don't know how to ask for things.
Safe here.
Well played. Exactly.
They don't punish people like us for speaking our minds.
Truly. I'm hungry. My sister too, we're starving.
Wait here. I'll fetch you something from the tavern.
Correct.
Thank you.
It won't be long. You stay here and rest.
I think we actually give them like some pretty good food, I think. If I remember right, we kind of pull rank a little bit and then go get them like some banging food. Bah. Sober-sighted
I'll have 2 plates
something.
of whatever you're serving.
Sorry.
Yes, he's like, we have enough mouths to
of our
feed.
own to feed now,
And I about
so
died with the whole
silence.
sometimes we do not
It's not
good
for
people
me.
things. Dude, I
It's for some new arrivals.
I was on the same page.
Oh, my apologies. I didn't see
That
the
whole
mark.
segment was funny.
So you're a
It's
comrade.
like, what makes a good person?
In
I
that case,
leaned
may I have
over and you're
whatever you
like,
require?
just
Take
do
all the
what
bread
you
and
don't
wine you
don't
want.
do what you do,
That's
and
really
that's
all
what
it
makes a good person. I was like,
Look at him
dang.
keep his mark.
And he's like, you know, because sometimes we do
I do as Master
good
Quinton
people
commands.
stuff.
Let's do
And he
it.
goes, and then sometimes
And
we
Master
do not
Quinton
good people
commands a number of
things.
his
I was
favourite
like,
guests.
you're
Left
supposed to
want.
be the intelligent one. You're the wizard.
Don't keep on
Where's
your comrades
the
waiting.
sometimes we make
what you need and see that they eat
morally
their fill.
questionable decisions and our actions do not reflect a strong moral compass. Like that, where's that? Where's that language at?
Hopefully this will be
I'm actually off stream. I'm going to start working with them on their D&D vocabulary, which is going to be fun. He goes, sometimes we do not good people things. It's like, oh my lord. 20 minutes later, defaces an ancient burial altar. No, 20 minutes later, almost decides that he wants to utterly deface an ancient burial mound. I actually saved him from getting cursed because he wanted to kill the elk at that burial mound. And if he killed the elk on the burial mound, he was going to get cursed. And that curse was going to, if I'm correct, it prevents him from receiving natural healing. And he is marked as an enemy of the Uthgard tribes eternally until he gets the curse removed. So anytime they would have seen Uthgard tribesmen from that point on, instant enemy. Just like, we have to kill this guy.
And more was offered.
I know. I can't believe it.
You're free now. And the next time you're hungry, you need only ask.
And if you're watching this on YouTube, because I always post these to YouTube, and you're like, I don't know what the heck, why these guys keep talking about D&D, it's because you should probably check out my Dungeons & Dragons YouTube channel called The Couch Co-op 5e and watch it, because it's dope. We're on our second campaign, and we're getting close to getting ready to start our third campaign. We actually have our characters' classes figured out, which is fun. Sounds like an exploit for an XP farm. If only we ran XP. That's one of the many reasons why I never run XP campaigns. Is because I know my players, and I know all they're going to want to do is do a bit of XP farming. So we'd have like 7 sessions of experience farming. And at that rate, I might as well just get them to whatever level they're looking for in order to get them on the story. So I just don't do experience points because like that's dumb. I liked the way that my first DM did experience, though. When I first started playing D&D, we did experience points, and it was always rewarded at the end of every session. So we would get experience every single time that we played. And he would chart up a base level of experience that you got per session, and then he charted whatever experience we got from the combat, and so he would divide that up amongst the players equally. And then you could get additional experience by landing killing blows on bosses, or having really, really good role-playing moments. And so it encouraged us, because he would tell us, hey, that earned a little bit of some experience. And we were like, yo, like, dope, let's do it. So we became a little bit more of like a roleplay heavy group at that point, because it was like we were getting incentivized to do that. But I know my current players, all they want to do is kill stuff. Except for Trey.
Have my guts for garters. You look like you can handle that blade of yours. Will you put it to use for a comrade in need?
Of course, I will slaughter everything I must.
Rid us of these wasps so I can be about my business.
Wasps, that's easy. That's easy.
I'll see to it.
Oh.
Boo. Go to Galton's Bale and kill some wasps. Most of these side quests aren't really important, so you just won't mind me if I'm like not truly paying attention to what they're saying. There are a few side quests that are important. They're a lot longer. They normally involve main characters and not, or main characters and somewhat like story relevant characters versus these random like
that must be the vineyard.
NPCs. Sounds like a good way to train RP into players. I agreed. I thought it was an amazing way to train RP into our group at the very least. So I thought it was great. But we're working on it. The one thing that I know really gets my players is puzzles, and then having to figure out what to do. That's what I'm trying to train them on, is like having to make decisions in terms of like how to kind of control the narrative of the story. We received a comment on one of our YouTube videos from Campaign 1 where they were in the Tomb of Daedaria, so it was in the second half of the campaign, like one of the first few episodes that we did when we went on the official like Rise of Tiamat book. And the comment was like, man, your party and puzzles like don't match. Like, what a great way to just defeat your players. And I was like, yeah, if you want to see my players get stumbled by a session or by a puzzle, just wait till we get to Jean Thal's tower. We spent 3 sessions in a hedge maze. But then the same thing happened literally yesterday, where they couldn't figure out what to do with this burial mound. And, like, it would have been super easy. I made a comment last night. Puzzles for your guys are like doors to Vox Machina. Exactly. And what would have made it a lot easier is had anyone considered just casting Detect Magic. If literally anyone that had the spell, and I don't know if they do. I don't look at their spell pages because I don't have a hold of their spell books. But if anyone had Detect Magic and then casted it, they would have detected a very strong aura of, I believe it was divination magic underneath the altar. And so they would have been like, okay, whatever we gotta find is easily under this altar. But they didn't do it. There's no physical markings. There's nothing physically present. So I had to, like, try to, like, make it to where they could figure something out. But even then, it's like they don't think like that. But, like, I wonder if there's a magical presence here that might help lead us in the right direction. I'll cast Detect Magic. So the next campaign's going to really push them in that direction. So
we use that money to keep our comrades fed. And Imperial rules.
Hopefully we're going to be able to make some headway there, because holy lord. And I told them, if they don't get puzzles figured out by the time they get to Tomb of Annihilation, they are done. Because Tomb of Annihilation is like, if you get this puzzle wrong, you die. And that's not a joke. Oh, there are some puzzles in some of those dungeons in that game where it's like, if you screw up, there's a strong chance you might not come out of that dungeon alive. And with Tomb of Annihilation, the whole point of the campaign is divination magic doesn't work. Or, sorry, revivification magic doesn't work. So you can't revive anyone. So if you die, you're dead. It's game over. In fact, the disclaimer at the front of the campaign book tells you to rip your character's character sheets up in front of your players. And just make it just harsh. Salt on an open wound. So we'll see. I told them they're going to have to start learning how to figure out puzzles.
Well, someone's in a hurry.
Just following orders.
Funny, I never took you for the type.
Can't all be as obedient as you, Gav.
Eh?
Fine day for a little mischief, wouldn't you say?
Mischief? Did you just say mischief?
All of us.
Actually, Gav,
I prefer mischief. Mischief.
Just the three of us, then.
Hi, Mischief. My name is Ethan.
Keystone of the Empire. Oriflamme's in chaos, yes, but that doesn't mean we can march an army through her gates. The fewer our numbers, the better our chances of going unnoticed.
Facts.
And should that plan fail, well, we have our icons to fall back on.
Also facts.
Sid, I don't know if I can. Ifrit still seems to come and go as he pleases.
Ordinarily,
I feel like they stack things like comprehend language because they think there's super secrets and everything written. Facts. 100%. But, like, comprehend languages is totally something that, like, that makes sense because I can, whenever I ask what languages do you know, then, you know, Gabe always responds, I have comprehend languages. Yeah, I know you have comprehend languages. That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking if you need to cast it or not. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I need to know whether or not you're going to need to cast it, because I know you have it. And so that solves the problem. But there's other things to worry about than written and spoken information. Like, things having an aura of evocation magic can give away just as much information to a party as you knowing what the 3 dwarven runes on a door say, if not more. So, we'll see. We'll get them to figure it out. I know a lot of them try to focus so much more on like how their party relates in terms of the combat, that when it comes to balancing their spell books, they're not as prioritizing utility spells, and so we'll kind of see where we go with their next group. So, like, I know in terms of classes right now, I know Katray is going to be playing a barbarian. I'm really excited for his character. He's working on his backstory. He's got his the most fleshed out. He's always well ahead of everyone. So, like, it kind of feels a little, like, sucky on my part as a DM, because I don't want to prioritize people or make it look like I'm favoriting, but at the same time, Trey is like 10 steps ahead of any one of my other players in terms of like having his characters prepped, because he thinks about it ahead of time, and he does it a lot. He starts working on it a lot sooner, rather than, you know, by the point where you can't really have enough time to flesh his character out. So he's got a Dragonborn Barbarian in the works, which is really, really fun to kind of play around with what we're thinking and how we're trying to get him fleshed out. So I'm really excited for him. I know Nick is torn between multi-classing, and so we'll see how we can make that work based on how he wants to multi-class. But I think he's either primarily playing a druid or a ranger. I think Gabe is going to be a cleric, so it's going to be really interesting watching him go from characters that fight and kill stuff to characters that heal and don't kill things. And then I think Omar is going to play a rogue, which is going to be really cool because he's going to go from killing everything this campaign to killing everything next campaign, and that's just going to, that sneak attack is going to be crazy. Sneak attack is 100% OP. Like, I always recommend people that if you want to multi-class into a class and just take like dip a few levels into something just to like flesh out a martial class, I always just recommend just take like 3 levels in rogue and get some sneak attack, and then get the assassin for level 3 so that you automatically crit anything on the first round of combat if they haven't taken their turn yet. Okay. Because, like, rogues work really well with monks, with rangers, with fighters. You can multi-class a few levels in paladin out of a rogue to get divine smite, which just adds a lot more damage on if you're like a hardcore rogue and you have like a bunch of sneak attack. Getting like a couple extra abilities to stack onto it. So like you could take 2 levels in Paladin. I would go 3 personally to get the Oath of Vengeance, get the Vow of Enmity, but we could talk about like character creation all day long. I would go like 15 levels in Rogue, do 2 levels of Fighter to get Action Surge, get 3 levels of Paladin to get the Vow of Enmity and Divine Smite. And if you're an Assassin Rogue, if you hit something on the first turn, you automatically crit. And if you crit, then you go ahead and throw a Divine Smite on top of your sneak attack with it. If you don't slaughter things instantly, you're doing something wrong. Okay, we can't go further that way. So now we can actually go to Northreach. But there's so many ways to like multi-class for like specifics. Because like if you want to multi-class like as a spellcaster and try to do like as much burst damage as possible, you want to go 5 levels of sorcerer, and then 2 levels of fighter once you hit your 5th level of sorcerer, so that you get action surge. And you're gonna be a little bit behind for level 6. Like once you take your first level into fighter, you are gonna be a little bit weird, because for some classes you're getting like actual class abilities, and you're not. You're kind of getting intro class abilities with really just the fighting style. And I think second wind. But once you hit Action Surge, as long as you're taking the meta magic option as a sorcerer for Quicken Spell, you can cast Fireball as a bonus action, and then you can Action Surge and cast Fire Bolts as 2 actions. Because you can only cast a cantrip after you cast a spell. So you're throwing out pretty decent damage, considering your Firebolt at that point is 2d10 worth of damage. That's, if you hit both Firebolts, that's 40d10 worth of damage, and 8d6 of the Fireball. Again, like, you can kill things all day. Like, it is what it is. If things aren't dying, you're rolling bad. Put your dice in prison. Did you hear the latest crit roll gossip? I didn't. I didn't hear any. I haven't really followed along with critical role too much since I had kind of fell off the campaign a bit and hadn't been keeping up with it. So, and that was partially my fault, because I just filled it with other things to do. What they end up doing. They're separating completely from Brian Foster. I heard about that. And I believed it had something to do with his personal behavior in terms of how he handled himself online. And not necessarily just how he handled himself online, because he was also, I believe he's engaged to Ashley Johnson, so I'm sure that also had a lot to do with it too. Took down every episode that had him in it on YouTube. Yeah, so that would have been all their talks machinas for campaign 1 and campaign 2. Well, yeah, a lot of campaign 2 talks machinas. Pretty much like half their post shows gone, or half of their content. Sorry, because they have a Talks Machina after every session they do. Him and Ashley separated also. Yeah, I knew about that. And stabby stab. But I mean, it's not the first time that they've had something kind of like that happen, because the first time they had like a separation that was like, oh my god, you know what's going on there, was with oh, you know what, we actually have a little space that we can go over to back here that I want to get to, was when Orion Akaba from their first campaign was when they had him step out. That was crazy too, because there's one episode where it's just like utterly terrible, and everyone's frustrated and everyone leaves it like pretty grumpy, and then the next episode he's just gone. His was a bit more of an awkward departure, but yeah, that stuff was crazy. I actually hadn't started watching Critical Role until well after that had happened, so I pieced it all together like well after the fact, because I started watching Critical Role by the time they were officially at their major Briarwood arc was when I started watching it. So I was in Craghammer when they were slaughtering vampires. Well, we're like 200 experience points away from getting one of our free abilities mastered so that we can equip it. We're going to be using our free abilities and not using our Garuda abilities, because once we get more icons, we won't be using Garuda like at all. So it's going to be fun. Yeah. Now, one of the things that I struggle with, like in our D&D group, is we have to balance out our sense of humor all the time. The 5 of us are all friends outside of us playing Dungeons and Dragons, and so the 5 of us we do spend time together, whether we're playing games or actually hanging out or whatever it might be. And our sense of humor is really dark and not necessarily politically correct by any stretch of the imagination. And as a result of that, we have to be very mindful of like what we say on stream, and not necessarily on stream specifically, because like I could always just unpublish videos or refuse to publish videos, like that's fine. But it's more so for the YouTube video, like I can't leave certain things on there, depending on what it is, and I was so happy that when Gabe caught himself from saying, I knew exactly what he was going to do. I knew what was going to happen, and he didn't say it. And it was golden. It was so good that he was able to control himself. That was such a good moment. Because we're dark humor fiends. And we're quick, too. The biggest issue is that we're very quick with our wit. So, like, when we're hanging out, the minute the opportunity arrives, we take it. We don't really think about it. And you could argue that that's not necessarily a good thing to do. But it's how we behave. And so it's really difficult when we're in the moment to divorce that, like, what we commonly do, what our behaviors are, our habits, and what we should do because we've agreed upon it as a group and how we wish to present ourselves. And man, was that a fun moment. I'm gonna try to put him to a challenge if he can control himself enough, because he's the one that tends to make me timestamp things to go back into the video and edit and make appropriate edits and deletions as needed. I'm gonna tell him that if he's able to do it for this next campaign, perfect, then I'll get him a treat. I'll have to think of something actually genuinely worth shooting for. So we'll see what we can do. Can't wait to play this, but I'm addicted to Diablo 4 currently. That's fair. I'm addicted to this currently, and I can't wait to play Diablo 4. I'm on the opposite boat. I can't wait to play Diablo 4, but I'm addicted to this hardcore.
Stay down.
Stomp him. Let's go kill this Avis. Dragon Avis. D4 Season 1 starts on the 20th. Okay, so then I'll have to do it at least by then. That's easy, that's 9 days. Crap. Get him.
Too slow.
There we go. Nice. We're 100 points away from mastering our first freed ability. Vorgans. Oh, Torgal just killed him. That was a rip, man. Alright, we're at Northreach.
The soldiers used to speak of a brothel.
Huh.
But that was north of the checkpoint. I hope that Dame has friends in the south.
Yeah, so we gotta get through this gate.
Fish!
You there! Fancy a drop?
The right to confiscate any objects.
Not another step, Branded, or you'll be spending the night in a cell.
That's a
You
rip.
gonna buy something or not?
Oh, let's buy something from this merchant.
Anything you like. And a fine day to you.
A moment, my lady.
A moment? I doubt you could afford even that much of my time. Branded.
My mistake.
No, Mine. Upon reflection, you don't have the scent of a branded about you. The flowers. Otto always did know how to please me. More than Sid ever did anyway. Do you think you could please me, Clive?
20 minutes and you can go home. There we go.
You're the dame.
There we go. It's gonna be the best. It's gonna be the best 20 minutes you'll ever have.
Impersonal titles to my less preferred clientele.
Clientele.
You can call
How
me
fancy.
Isabel. Otto assured me I could trust you. I can trust you, can't I?
Well, I'm wielding a sword and I look dope, so you
can
better be
trust
able
me,
to.
Yes, but why would you?
Help you? Because that's what we do. Long ago, Sid did me a kindness when no one else would. I have never forgotten that. Without it, I would not be where I am today. And so, I make it a point to do the same whenever possible. Which brings us here.
Come on. Good boy.
To the final obstacle between you and whatever it is you seek in the holy capital. I fear the guards are not likely to let a masterless bearer pass unmolested. Unless... Unless, of course, his master deigned to appear. Yes, that will do nicely. But I shall expect a favor in return.
Wait, what?
Alright, now we gotta go speak with Isabella. She's gonna get us through this checkpoint. We're basically gonna pretend to be her servant, because we're bearers, so they're gonna treat us like a slave.
What are you doing?
That'll be good.
Tut tut. We cannot have people thinking I tolerate disobedience from my branded.
Correct.
The men who gave me this are no more my masters than you are.
Yeah, but
But
they won't ever have to know.
it's not as if I can hide it.
From the moment you acquired it, that brand has done naught but take. But today, it is going to give you exactly what you want. Just play along.
Madame, back to the Vale already?
But of course, we must make ready to welcome you, my dear.
And who might this be?
Why, my new escort. The streets aren't safe for a girl, what with all the royalists about.
Don't work him too hard.
Well, that rather depends on you now, doesn't it? I'll see you all at sunset.
Boy, hold up. Another fucking branded. Well, you're lucky you're with the dame.
Yes, quite lucky. I'm the luckiest
Get
of
out my
them all.
sight. Filth.
Thanks for noticing. Appreciate it. I flaunt my luckiness above the masses. You dogs. Got him. Wrecked.
That wasn't so bad.
Wasn't so bad.
There's like an
They
itch on
might
the
have
inside of my
recognized
eye.
me.
It's like right
But
here,
they didn't.
and I don't like it.
And even if they had, they wouldn't have done anything about it.
Oh, I think I got it.
The
Okay.
gentlemen of the garrison are some of
I didn't
my
feel good. I don't
best
like that.
customers. We have an arrangement.
Yeah, we
As
treat
do
you
you
well.
and I.
She's the
Now,
lady of the night, guys.
If you'd care to follow me, we can speak more at the Vale.
We know what their arrangement is.
Doesn't seem like I have much of a choice.
Correct. Make for the Vale. Alright. With that dress. But of course she is.
And if anyone requests her company, tell them she is feeling unwell.
See, that's how you render your services in a professional way.
You look stunning.
If anyone
As do you, my dear.
requests her company, see, we're speaking
Shall I have one of the
euphemistically.
girls draw a bath?
If anyone
That
wants
won't
to
be
pay
necessary.
to sleep with her, tell her she's not feeling well. I don't know why she wouldn't be feeling well. I don't know who we're
Quiet,
talking
my
about.
darling.
But I see through the
Welcome
lies of the Jedi.
To the veil.
A brothel! We have found it.
Thank you for seeing me through the gates, my lady. I am in your debt.
Well, that was the whole point, wasn't it? And I told you, it's Isabel. Whatever wound you so tight, I wonder. It's certainly not Sid's influence.
You, mentioned a favor. What is it you'd have me do? I don't want to keep my companions waiting.
If you mean Sid and the girl, you needn't worry. They have yet to reach the checkpoint. Yes, Otto asked me to help them as well. But to answer your question, I need you to find someone for me. One of my girls. Tatienne has been gone for several days now, having left no word of explanation. And I began to fear the worst.
Did she like the head pin?
I feel as if I've spent my whole life searching for people. No, I can't say I'm any good at it.
I trust you'll do your best. Oh, and take this.
It's like, I think it's the Dame's mark. Yeah. You accept the moon and stars.
That trust. And hopefully enough to keep prying eyes
That
from looking too
prevents the
closely at
Imperials
that
from messing with me.
face of yours. Now,
So they'll treat you
I
with
have
a level of
matters to
respect.
attend to at the Iron Flagon. If you find anything, ask for me there.
I wonder if we get any side quests here. Wouldn't be surprised.
Probably start here.
Yep, not surprised at all. 3? Bruh. The level of side quests. Man. Well, let's talk to this lady first. Investigate Tatienne's whereabouts and start collecting side quests.
You wear the dame's brooch. She must trust you.
Enough to have me look for one of your colleagues. A woman by the name of Tatienne.
She's still missing then. Oh, if only I'd comforted her.
You saw her before she disappeared.
The day before, she was in tears. She'd lost her comb, a gift from the dame. It wasn't anything fancy, but you could tell it meant the world to her. You see, Tatienne was an orphan, and she looked upon the dame as a mother, as do we all.
So she was upset.
And I didn't lend her my shoulder. But perhaps someone else did. Tatienne shared a room. Her chambermaid may have seen something. She's over there, sitting by the pond.
Thank you. Let's see what her chambermaid can tell us then.
So you're the new escort the girls have been talking about. And you've already been sent off on an errand, eh? Poor boy. You'll be knackered before the real work begins later on tonight.
I'm told you share a bedchamber with Tatienne. Did she say anything to you before?
Before she went missing. Only that she needed to meet with someone. She did mention a name, but I know exactly who she meant.
You do?
Lad from the garrison. Annoying little shit. Spent every guil he earned on Tatienne, and picked fights with anyone else who tried to buy her time. Followed her around like a lost puppy. Tatienne was flattered at first, but it didn't take long for her to get scared. She thought about saying something. But the dame was so proud of her for how much she was bringing in, and she didn't want to let her down.
This man from the garrison. Did you ever see him?
Of course I did. He tried to sneak into our room enough times. Slimy sod's got a scar over one eye. Claims he got it in battle.
You've been very helpful.
Don't let him get away with this. Find him, and you'll find her.
A man from the garrison. Seems a trip to the barracks is in order.
Now we can investigate the garrison, but let's collect some side quests first. We'll get these all picked up, and I don't know if we'll have much time to really move further. So I think we'll pick up these side quests, save it, and then pick up there next. Look, the ladies of the night are seducing the guards.
I cannot help but notice you bear the moon and stars. So you are an associate of the dames?
Correct.
Might I trouble you for some assistance? You'll be rewarded, of course.
And who exactly would I be assisting?
Oh, forgive me. I am Etienne, a humble merchant. Though fortunate enough to count the dame among my acquaintances, I have business beyond these walls, but the guards have grown somewhat suspicious of my comings and goings of late. I was hoping someone might be kind enough
So we're being asked to
go in my stead.
smuggle stuff.
And who better than someone in the employ of the Vale's proprietress?
That's not sus at all.
Would you be willing to help a fellow in his hour of need?
You're really harping it up here. We'll do it. Why not?
Why not?
We'll do it for the money.
Marvelous. The task is simple enough. Pass through the gate and deliver packages to a few of my most valued clients. There are 3 in total. A grocer, an apothecary, and a distiller. You need only mention that the items you carry are...
He wants you to
fresh
do
from the
not good
master's
people
table.
things.
Nothing
No.
dangerous, I hope.
Yeah, nothing dangerous. Yeah, this is not good. This is when I do
Of
not good
course
people
not.
things.
Merely trifles, which...
That's. I'm now
from
making that just a
checkpoint
running
are
inside
keen
joke.
to get their hands on.
Be like,
And
our
though I
party
cannot
engaged
prevent
in
you
some
from
not
peeking,
good
I
people things.
advise that you don't. Strongly advise.
Also, I'm trying to figure out a way that I can remove Nephis's face covering from his character, because I'm not trying to, like, burn it off.
Sergeant's got it in for us.
But he hides his face intentionally, and it's never been brought up as to why.
Where's your commanding officer, Brad?
And I'm not going to tell the
Oh,
other
you know
players to
training
ask him.
grounds are for real soldiers.
Hey, you
At
lost
one
us something.
point.
Sorry, but the Imperial Guard's got no use for your kind.
They also
The
haven't really been running into a lot of other
bodies,
like
though.
NPCs that they spend a lot of time with. So like the crew, the Dragon Colts are going to be the best people to be like. So quick question, just wondering, why do you cover your face up and all that?
Be
So,
way strutting about like he owns the place.
and at first he wanted it to be a leather mask, and I told him no.
You reckon this
We did
prick's
have that
really worth a
conversation on
cut of the
stream.
Emperor's finest?
How about
Oh yeah, he wants to fight. We'll fight this guy real quick. And I think we're gonna throttle him.
take him.
Yeah, I know. Whatever. Let's fight him.
No.
You want to fight? Let's do it. I'm gonna beat him up. I mean, the title cards on stream give it away. I'm guessing.
Lucky bastard. All right.
Yeah,
Let's be having you.
people know he's a half orc, but that's not what I'm concerned with. Is like people not knowing like what his character is, and he doesn't care about that either. He cares more so about like what his facial features are.
Oh, and when you go crying your mistress, tell her it was Leon who gave you the pounding. Use all the dirty tricks you want, right? So you know one end of a block from me.
This guy's like, oh, you think you can beat me? Doesn't even get a hit in. Doesn't even get a hit in. Turns over. You want to be next?
Fuck me.
No, thank you.
What the hell are you playing at, Leon? Ah, so it's a real challenge he wants, is it? Fine.
Oh, you're next, buddy? Big ol' hammer man?
Sword up, bearer. Let's have some fun, shall we? Bring the day's freight, won't he? Stay down. You've got potential. Give me that.
Oh, you want a real challenge? Okay. Okay. I would have liked a real challenge. It would have been nice. Would have been a change from what I'm used to.
Can I go now? Gregor's gas. The bastard didn't even break a sweat.
No.
The dame's man or no, he's still a branded. Best hope the sergeant never hears about this.
Yeah, not after the bollocking he gave us for missing drills.
I'll leave you to it.
Yeah, good bloody riddance.
Do us a favour. If you have to tell the dame about this,
Ah, sir,
we got a good
here
few
to
weeks, eh?
have whooped your ass. Facts. Actual. That is legit what happened. It's like, pride comes before fall. It's like, oh no, sir, it seems like you've gotten your ass kicked by a bearer. I hope you can bear it. Got him. That was terrible. It was bad. I'll see myself out. It's a good thing we're almost done. Alright, Mr. Guy.
I don't know how a bearer came by the moon and stars, but thank goodness I found you. Can I trust you to be discreet?
About
What is with everyone like, oh, can you just like use this on the hush hush? And the Empire's full of tropes.
To ask of you about the fact that I, a humble creature,
Doubt it.
assist the
Liar.
Dame of the Vale in as unlikely
Not
as it may
true.
seem. There are those within the upper echelons of Samberquois society who find the
Samberquois.
Empire's treatment of bearers to be barbaric.
All right. But what do you want from me?
This town is carried upon the backs of its bearers. And yet
Okay, this guy's
many
actually
see
kind
their
of
servants
nice.
starve.
Okay, he wants to
Not
help.
for the want of coin.
What a man.
So fare costs little more than a pittance. But to revel in the suffering of others, a simple act of cruelty. Contemptible though it is, my countrymen would sooner cut off their noses to spite their faces than see their bearers fed. And despite my best attempts at secrecy, my efforts to dole out comestibles have been noticed. Which brings me to my request.
Fine.
Oh, thank you. And here.
Alright, we're gonna deliver some food. I can do that. We've turned into DoorDash. We are the Uber Eats of Final Fantasy.
Bearers, overworked and underfed. Not permitted a moment's rest.
It's no wonder so many die before their time.
Tragic. True, but do not let anger make you careless.
I don't know if you consider bears a race, but there appears to be some
as an
undertones here.
undermining of the
Potentially,
Empire's
Final Fantasy always does a really good job of not making their undertones of like class dynamics very, very explicit and things that are like very socially relevant. But they do always pull on some of the the classic tropes of
I'm expected back
in terms of how they create their power dynamics in games. So they do a pretty decent job. And all the developers, like another big thing too, like one of the big reasons that I really have still loved the Final Fantasy series is that while Square Enix has multiple chapters throughout, you know, obviously the world, it's an international company, it is primarily Japanese based, and the creators of the game and the team that works on it is all Japanese for the most part. Like the primary development team is Japanese, so their culture is different in terms of what they experience there. So we have a lot of games that are getting developed now which would pull out a lot of those undertones based off of like relevant stuff that they want to comment on in their game, whereas Final Fantasy has almost never done that. And I personally like it, but then you grab the tropes of, well, and we actually read about it earlier, so the Holy Empire actually passed a decree that ensured that bearers are declared non-persons, so they don't have any legal authority or legal citizenship here in the Empire. They are quite literally second-class citizens. And so you're able to pull on the tropes of like, well, how do we free them? And what does that look like?
Looks like now's not the time.
And so you kind of get like a Robin Hood component into it, which is pretty decent, I would say. Mixed in with some, I guess you could argue, like some civil rights and some social justice components, but like some the noble aspects of it, which is good. And, you know, without the story getting too wacky. Because I can jump like this. Look at that op. I don't know anyone that hops like that. I'm full on skipping at this point. Nice. Alright, well, that's where we'll go ahead and conclude it for the day. We're like 70 points away from mastering the Will of the Wykes. Once we get the Will of the Wykes, we're going to go ahead and equip that onto one of our abilities, removing one of our Garuda abilities. So that's going to be dope when we get to start using those. I'm not using those on my other save file. So as you can see, a lot farther on another. I'm not using any of the Ifrit abilities there, so we're not going to have to worry about any... it's actually going to be a very new experience for me to use, so I'm excited for that. We'll be back later in the week. So it's going to be a pretty solid week this week. So yeah, I think that's going to be it for today. Let's see. I don't think we're going to raid out tonight. I don't think that's the plan. So I think we'll end it and just call it good and leave it as is. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are streaming, but I think we won't raid out for today. So yeah, have a good one, Pally. Yeah, thanks, Atronach. I appreciate it. I hope you have a great rest of your day or your night, I guess. Get home safe and have a good rest of your night with your family. And we'll see you next time. And for everyone else watching, go ahead and like and follow the channel. Subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Do all the good stuff, and we'll see you around. Peace.